everyone has an opportunity to have a seat at the table in building our shared future.
And if you feel like your voice is small, this is your time to shine. You all hold so much knowledge. Your experience in life, your experience within this community.
That you are now serving your community in a way that really hasn't happened around here before, and it hasn't happened in many communities at all.
The topic that you've been given is something that I wish we didn't even have as a community issue.
The question for this assembly, which came out of conversations with a whole bunch of different entities in the region, is what should our priorities be for building community solutions to prevent and end youth homelessness?
So we have one youth that's homeless in our community. That's a real shame to start with already.
They're just children and they're alone out there, and it just tears my heart up.
Now, I've always known that I want to work with youth, but I didn't really know what to do at that time with it. So in comes my husband with this letter. He goes, "I think this is for you."
More than 12,000 random households in Deschutes County have been invited to partake in a civic assembly. This is a move by the county to get the community involved in addressing Central Oregon's high rate of homelessness among youth and families, which is among the highest in the country.
I was at home, I opened the letter, found out what it was about, an assembly getting together to kind of talk about issues that are affecting the town as a whole, issues that I've experienced personally in my family. And this seemed like the perfect opportunity to become more involved.
Our mission is to build bridges, open doors, and create spaces for everyone in the community to have a seat at the table in building a shared future that is more thriving and civically engaged.
I think it's hard to be a conservative in Oregon in general and feel validated. There are a lot of times where I personally feel like I shouldn't voice my opinion. I thought there was going to be a lot of arguing, and I thought I was going to have to debate with a lot of people. None of that happened.
I was just going to say I agree 100%. As somebody who grew up in this town, as a local, I would love to be a part of that. And the issue is far.
I didn't feel any political pressure. Conservative-wise, I didn't feel it. Liberal-wise, looking around the room, I couldn't guess who leaned which way, which was extremely refreshing.
A group of citizens who are just sincerely interested in seeing progress on an issue, they can have very frank, honest discussions about what actually the problem is and what will actually work.
Is there a way, especially for this group, that is going to come up with all these recommendations, is there a way for us to then find out, is there follow through? Were there decisions made based on what we've recommended? If we come up with 5 points that we feel are the priorities for this city, and then we're not going to be sitting in that room with them for the rest of their terms. So then how do we find out? Is there going to be follow up on your part so that we can then know what happens?
Yes, thank you. Really great and important question. So you will all have the opportunity to present those recommendations to the board of the COIC. Then the City of Bend and the County Commission have both agreed they'll hold public sessions on all of the recommendations that apply to their jurisdiction, and that before the holidays they'll actually hold a public meeting with a response.
Thanks for that, Josh. Appreciate that.
And in the end, the delegates reached a supermajority consensus of 23 recommendations that ranged from fixing the foster care system to even a request for another civic assembly to look at the broader challenges of affordable housing.
Let's look at that.
Recommendation 12, create another civic assembly in the future dedicated to the housing affordability crisis. The housing affordability crisis is the core of...
All in all, I think this was a very good example of how even people with diverse political opinions can come together and solve issues within their community, and we can all just be human beings with each other. Yeah.
The other last pieces here is a moment for you all to
say whatever you'd like to each other.
Oh dear. I just want to say thank you to everybody. It's the first time in my life I've ever felt that my voice mattered. So thank you all.
I just want to say thank you to all of my fellow delegates. I have been so impressed with your intelligence, your compassion, your passion, and just your bravery.
I signed up to be a part of one of the subcommittees, so it'll be kind of cool to see what comes out of that.
Thank you everyone who's joining us this evening. It's for those of you that are aware, there has been a really exciting civic project going on in Deschutes County.
And I just want to say that in a time of divisiveness, it's refreshing to see that we have community members that are interested in being involved in this degree of our democracy.
Our hope is to make this into a long-term sustainable project here.
I think this is a great program that you got going here. Our youth can't even afford to live in this town they were born here. And that's something that the young lady brought up over there. I mean, that's very important. The other thing I heard that was very important is that we as elected officials need to hear the voice of the people. So I want to applaud you guys and the work you did, and we need to move forward.
I'd describe this event as inspirational.
Hopeful.
Exciting. Inspirational.
Exhausting, but an incredible opportunity.
Love.
Positive. Yeah, it was positive. And I'm optimistic for the future.